When I moved into Sycamore Springs, I thought I was stepping into a peaceful, well-organized suburban dream. What I didn't realize was that I had unknowingly entered a dictatorship in khakis and visors. The HOA here isn't just an association, it's a full-blown regime with more ego than actual law. You'd think these folks were running a federal agency with how seriously they take mailbox paint shades and grass blade lengths. And at the top of this pyramid of petty was Karen, HOA president, self-proclaimed queen of the cul-de-sac, and unofficial enforcer of everything unnecessary. Welcome to Prodigy Tales. Make sure you like and subscribe for your top-notch HOA drama. Karen was the kind of woman who patrolled the neighborhood like it was her kingdom. If your trash can was 1 inch from where she thought it should be, she'd email you. If your garden gnome dared to look a little too personalized, you'd get a knock. She acted like she had a direct line to the zoning gods and carried a clipboard like it was a weapon of mass correction. The HOA meetings weren't meetings. They were mandatory confessions of your sins against suburbia. The rules were insane. No wind chimes, no visible solar panels, and absolutely no music played outdoors that she hadn't approved of. Yes, there's a literal list. So when I unpacked my speakers and decided to enjoy a little weekend barbecue with my favorite playlist going, I knew I was rolling the dice. But I didn't care. I wasn't about to let Karen's dictatorship kill my vibe. Let's be real. If you can't chill with a little Michael Jackson while flipping burgers on a Saturday, what's the point of homeownership? I wasn't blaring music like it was a club. It was just background vibes, something to make the grill sizzle a little smoother. But as the beat dropped and Billie Jean hit its second verse, I could already feel the storm brewing 2 houses down. Karen's blinds twitched, her little yappy dog barked, and I knew it was only a matter of time before the queen herself emerged. I had no idea just how insane it was about to get. It was barely noon the next day when I heard the aggressive knock at my front door, rapid, sharp, and entitled, like someone born with a whistle in their mouth. I opened it and, surprise, surprise, there stood Karen, arms folded so tight her veins were about to burst. Her eyebrows were pulled higher than her hairline, and that fake plastic smile on her face was already twitching. "Hi," she said in a tone that meant anything but. "I live just across the street. I heard music yesterday, and I wanted to ask, what exactly were you playing?" "Michael Jackson," I said casually, taking a sip of my coffee. "I had Billie Jean on. Why?" Her smile cracked. "I despise Michael Jackson," she snapped. "His music is disruptive, loud. It was echoing off the fences. My poodles were shaking. I couldn't even concentrate during my book club Zoom." "Really?" I blinked. "It wasn't even that loud." She tightened her lips like she was trying to swallow a lemon whole. "Well, I'm asking you politely to turn it down if you must play it. It's a very sensitive neighborhood. The HOA has a very specific standard." I nodded and said, "Okay, no problem." I turned the volume down a few notches, just enough to be neighborly. You'd think that would have been the end of it, but nah, that was only the trailer. The main movie hadn't even started. Later that evening, while I was inside making dinner and vibing to a soft playlist, MJ still, but toned down to background hum, I saw her pacing in front of her lawn, hands on hips, talking to herself, glaring at my windows like they insulted her mom. You'd think I installed concert speakers on the roof the way she was acting. I mean, I get it. Not everyone's a fan of the king of pop, but to stand on the lawn throwing dirty looks like we're in a Wild West standoff, that's next level petty. I wasn't even blasting Thriller, and she was treating it like a federal offense. Something told me she wasn't going to let this go, and I was right. 2 days later, just as Smooth Criminal hit that iconic beat drop, the knocking returned. This time louder, angrier, almost violent. I opened the door mid-moonwalk, and there she was again, dressed in a glittery jogging suit like she just jogged back from hell. Karen didn't even say hello this time. She barged halfway into my porch space, flailing her clipboard like a knight raising a sword. "I told you I hate Michael Jackson," she shrieked. I stared at her, stunned but impressed by how dramatic one human could be over a few decibels of legendary music. "And I told you I turned it down," I replied coolly, stepping aside to block her from entering further. "It's not even loud." "I don't care." His voice gives me migraines, and I am filing a formal noise complaint. "You're disturbing the peace and violating HOA harmony." Now that's a new one. HOA harmony. I almost laughed, but I stood firm and said, I read the rulebook, Karen. Volume under 70 decibels during daylight hours is allowed. It's legal. You're just being controlling. Wrong move. That triggered her God mode meltdown. She stomped down my steps and started yelling toward the other houses, trying to rally back up. He's destroying the vibe of this entire community with his nonsense music. What kind of adult listens to Michael Jackson daily? We have standards here. My neighbor across the street peeked out her curtain. Another neighbor leaned on their rake, confused. A dog started barking, possibly out of sympathy for me. Nobody seemed convinced by her tantrum, but Karen didn't care. She came back up and yelled, "If you don't turn it off, I'll fine you $500 for every violation. I am the HOA president." "You can't fine me without board approval or an actual violation," I said, calm but locked in. "You're bluffing." Karen's face twisted like she just bit into a raw onion. "You'll see. Don't underestimate me." She marched away, red in the face, muttering something about lawyers and noise meters. While I did what any sane person would do, I cranked bad up just a little louder. She turned around, mouth wide open, stunned at my audacity. The entire street watched like it was an episode of reality TV, and believe me, the best episode was still loading. It all came crashing down on a Thursday afternoon, hotter than Satan's driveway. I was indoors cooking while Don't Stop Till You Get Enough played like a gentle breeze through my speakers. Nothing loud, nothing crazy, just Michael doing what Michael does best. Then came the banging. Not knocking, not tapping, full-on banging, like a battering ram made of bitter entitlement. Karen was back, and this time she wasn't just yelling, she was losing her damn mind. I peeked out the window, and there she was, barefoot on my porch, face redder than ketchup in July. She was slamming both fists on the door like she was summoning a demon. My mailbox? Shattered. One of the wooden posts was broken clean off, and she had the nerve to pick it up and wave it at my security cam like it owed her rent. "Turn it off, or I'll make you," she screamed. Neighbors started coming out now, phones out, recording. One couple across the street had lawn chairs out and popcorn. A kid zoomed by on his bike shouting, "Karen's losing it again," and the whole street chuckled. Karen didn't care. She tore one of my flower pots off the step and threw it at the bushes. "This whole block is under my administration," she screamed. "You think you're going to ruin it with your thriller nonsense? Think again." And then, sirens. Apparently someone else had already called the cops. 2 squad cars rolled up within minutes. Karen tried to flip the script the moment they stepped out. "Officers, thank God you're here. He's harassing the entire neighborhood with his awful music." The officers looked around, looked at her, looked at the busted mailbox and scattered potting soil, then looked at me. Calm, standing on my porch, arms folded with a Bluetooth speaker playing a mellow MJ hook. "Ma'am, have you been drinking?" one officer asked. She lost it. "Are you kidding me? I'm the president of this community. Ma'am, we've had 3 calls about you causing property damage and trespassing." They cuffed her right there on my lawn, and as they walked her to the cruiser, she shrieked, "I'll sue everyone. You'll regret this. I am the HOA." I just turned the volume up one last time as Beat It kicked in. The end. Please like and subscribe for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think Karen got what she deserved? Comment below.